In today's video, I'm going to go over a little tour of Orca Slicer and explain some of its best features and why you might want to use it as your slicer. So if you do download it, the first screen you will see is a printer selection screen. And there are so many different printers that you can choose from. If you're new to the hobby, your printer is probably going to be in this list. There's Anchor, there's Creality, there's Bamboo Labs, there's Legu. Yeah, basically, if you have a newer printer, there's Prusa. You will be able to find your printer, and once you select your printer and your nozzles, it'll give you default system presets for it. And so far, all the system presets I've used have been really good. A little slow, but with a little dialing in, they're excellent. The other thing I wanted to talk about that's really great about Orca is there's calibration tools. So you don't have to go hunting for STLs to try to dial in your settings. You can do it right through the slicer. So I'll just use the temperature as an example. You can choose what type of filament you are using. So we'll just choose PLA and do the defaults for this example. And it automatically builds you a temp tower. So we're gonna slice that just to have a look, and we'll zoom in, and this will help you get your temperature for your filament that you'd want to run. Let's change it over to see the temperature. This is also really nice. I really like the layout of that. So there we go. So you'll see it starts at 230 and then it goes down, 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 and you'll be able to print this model and look at it and see what your best setting is. And you can actually go through and do flow rate calibration, pressure advance, retraction, get your stringing all taken care of. The other really nice thing is they have a tutorial there for you. So even if you're new to the hobby, you can look through all these settings and you can have a visual as well as directions on how to dial in your printer. If you do go through this, I do recommend starting with a temp tower and then going on to your flow rate. You might not even need to adjust pressure advance, especially if you're not going super fast, but highly recommend retraction test. And the tolerance test is quick and easy, and it'll basically help you find out how well your tolerances look. The next thing I want to go over is the connection. So my favorite feature in Orca Slicer is this connection. So you can connect directly to your printer if you're running Octoprint or Clipper, and you just put in your IP address of your server or your Raspberry Pi, and you put in your API, and right from the slicer you can click into your device. So you can send prints right to it, you can change your temperature, you can move your print head, you can go straight to the terminal so you can send G-code. You could even do PID tuning right through here, which is just basically making sure that the temperature that you're telling the heater to go to is the temperature that it's actually going to. You can do time lapses. There's this really great plugin they have called Octolapse, and you can basically make it so that your head moves to a certain spot after every layer, so your time lapse looks flawless and it looks like it's just building without even seeing the printer head move. And there's tons of other plugins for Octoprint that you can use that really are a lot of fun and really helpful. So I'm not going to go too much into the settings. There are a lot of settings that Octoprint has that other slicers don't, but I will just go over a couple things that are kind of special. One is the scarf seam, so it's a beta, but it helps you dial in your seams, and you can make them not completely unnoticeable, but you can definitely make them smaller and less obvious. Another great thing about it is multi-bed support. So you can choose, like say you have a lot of different beds, you can choose which bed you want, and you could even set different temperatures for those beds. There's a lot of multi-material support. You don't need to have an AMS to be able to take advantage of it. You can control your flushing volumes for your filament. You can also change settings by object. So I don't have anything loaded right now, but say I had like 4 different prints or 4 different STLs, and I was like, okay, well, one of them I want to print really fast, one of them I want to print slow, and that's a nice way too to check your settings all on one plate. You can actually set them all differently, and then you can be able to tell which one came out the best. You can also change your print order, so you can go here to others and you can change your print sequence so that you're printing by objects rather than layer. There are a ton more features that I don't want to go over because I don't want to make this video too long, but I'd be happy to go into any of them if you are interested. The one thing that I really want to talk about in another video is what you can do here. So you can do modifiers, you can do variable layer height, you can move your models, you can do seam painting, you can also do support painting, and I can get more into that in other videos, but hopefully this gives you a little bit of an introduction to Orca Slicer, its capabilities, and it really does make printing a lot easier and fun and just gives you a lot more options. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening.